You'll have to forgive my voice. I have been too busy shouting at the screen. So today my voice is being provided by Kathleen Turner. My name is Zak Hepburn. I'm the General Manager of the Astor Theatre and the resident film critic for ABC News Breakfast. I remember seeing my first film in the cinema when I was about 2 years old. I have no recollection of the film, but I really do remember being in this sort of different space, and I was very, very much attracted to that. My first role in the film industry was a front of house attendant at the Palace Cinema West Garth in Northcote. I started in 2006 just ripping tickets and chucking popcorn around, and then that moved on to more senior management roles within the venue, and then also in our head office. Palace Cinemas took over the operating business of the Astor a number of years ago, and when they took over the reins, they decided that they'd like to have me in charge, which I was very fortunate enough to be offered, and I said yes. I think what makes the Astor so different to other cinemas is the fact that it is a hub for cinema culture. It's a vestibule for cineasts. Every night here is an event. We're a destination. You come here, we have the soundtrack of the film playing, we have a curated pre-show of trailers. The idea is that we cherish cinema. And I think because we're a single screen location, one of the last single screen locations in the country, we can really create that event space and make this a hub for film culture. A Cat and the Astor have always been together. So when we took over the business, we really did want to keep that tradition continuing. And we were very fortunate enough to find a Cat who looked like he fit all the right profiles. He was actually named Tarantino by the Lost Dogs home because he's black and white. They named him Tarantino after Reservoir Dogs. When we got him to the Astor, we thought, well, Tarantino is a nice name, but it's not really this name we want. So we named him after John Wayne, whose nickname was the Duke. So he lives here, he calls the Astor his home, and he seems to have made it a pretty good home for himself for the last 3 years. My day-to-day job as a general manager of the Astor is a little bit different to other cinema manager jobs. Whilst I'll do all the administrative work of the business, I also curate the calendar, pick the films, track the prints of the films, move them around the country, whether that be a 35mm print, a 70mm print, or a digital hard drive. Screening a film on celluloid is very different to screening a film digitally. When you screen something on celluloid, whether that be 35mm film or 70mm film, there's a warmth, there's a depth that you just don't get digitally. What I love about film too is it tells a story, not just a narrative story, but you can see where the film print's been over its whole existence. It's a little scratch, it's a little pop. That tells a story as well. My other job is I'm the resident film critic of ABC News Breakfast. I was very fortunate to land that role just purely through networking. I used to do a review slot on ABC Radio overnight and got friendly with the segment producers for the News Breakfast television program. And one thing sort of led to another. It's a great opportunity to hopefully introduce some films to audience members who may not have heard of them previously. I would really like to see myself always showing films to people. It's a career that I love, whether that be at the Astor or through various different film festivals throughout the world. I love showcasing new and old cinema to audience members, so that's something my career will always revolve around.